Okay, this next dish is roast pork loin. I'm going to put in some apples, onions, sage, fresh sage, and then just finish it off with some balsamic and honey. Get a pan, get it nice and hot, and then with the loin, I want to just score this. Just going to score it one way. And what I'm doing is I'm not cutting through to the flesh, just scoring the fat. And it's just for an even cooking. And then just down the other side, so you have a nice crisscross. Got a hot pan on, and I just put a sea salt over the top of the meat. This will help crisp up the skin as well. And then just no oil in the pan, just straight into the pan. Not too massively hot, we want to just let that render down, okay? With the apples, what I want to do is just cut them into quarters. Take out the wee core. So I'll just take that out. And then we're going to cook this with it. And they'll sort of roast with the pork. Let you have a wee look at this now. See the nice golden colour there in that? Okay. And there's a wee bit of the fat coming out of that as well, which is great. So what I just do is just seal it off on all sides. So there, look at that side. And then just leave it up on this side as well. With the onions, what I want to do then with the onions is just cut them into quarters. So we're going to roast this probably for about an hour. So the onions and the apples will all sweat down. If you can see in there, all our fats sort of come down, rendered down. I'm not going to add another tiny bit of oil in here just to help the onions along. So onions into the pan, just round the sides. I just want to get a small amount of colour in this. We'll add the apples. I'm just going to transfer it into a roasting tray. I'm going to cover it with tin foil. Okay, I'm going to put the apples in. And this has really got a great smell because you've got that lovely fat, that lovely crispy fat, and it's coming through. We've got the onions, you're starting to cook in it, and it'll pick up those beautiful flavours. And what I want to do at this stage then is just put the onions just round the side here, some of the apple. Get the apple really right round the outside, and then the onions sort of in the middle. Pork on top. Those lovely juices there, I don't want to lose any of them. Just a wee tiny drop of chicken stock around the side just to help so it doesn't stick to the bottom, and it'll help sort of steam the whole thing together. Now I put this into a 180-degree oven, and it'll take roughly about 45 minutes. But what I'm going to do now is brush some of the just balsamic and honey mixture over the top. Let a wee bit drizzle around as well, and that'll help our sauce. And then I'm just going to put that back into the oven, not for very long, maybe about 2 minutes, just to flash it really and get a nice wee crisp on it. I've got some fresh sage here. What I want to do is fry off some butter. Fresh sage is nice just fried off because you get that lovely, really nice crispiness in it, and it just changes it completely. Once these have crisped up, I'm going to take them out, and then I'm going to add in all the juices and let that boil down to a nice sort of thick gravy. Okay, so that's our crispy sage leaves. Just leave them at the side, and then take the juices and just carefully add them to the pan. Okay. The great thing about this is it's just a natural sauce. You know, you're not thickening it with flour or anything like that. It's just lovely. Pork's resting nicely. I'm just going to do nice slices of this. Just cut it down. You can see all the juice that comes off that there. Just let that sit a wee minute. Put that down the side. That's the roast pork with the apples, sage and onions.